Oh my god, she's wearing a wire. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's discuss the most recent episode of euphoria. The cops got Rue. The Silver Slipper hired a new face. Cassie's relaunching her career. Nate did nothing. We see Paladin's funeral. Rest in peace, little guy. Pretty awesome episode this week. Let's get into it. It's called Kitty Likes to Dance, because that's the new stripper's name. Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about Nate because he only had 2 scenes and didn't really have much going on this episode. The last episode was very Nate-centric, which is probably why he got put to the back burner here. We did not get a Nate flashback like I predicted, so that's kind of unfortunate, but maybe we'll figure stuff out later. Or maybe it doesn't matter and we'll never find out. He got his toe reattached, so that's awesome for him. He's also coming at life with a much more positive mindset, seeing his reattached toe as a metaphor for how you can come back from anything. Just a very positive, optimistic guy. Gotta love it. The toe's a metaphor. Cassie ain't having it though. She leaves to go do OnlyFans with Maddie, but we'll get back to Cassie later. This kind of concludes Nate's first scene. We see him again later when he goes to a board meeting to pitch stuff about his construction project and declares his love for old people. He is unfortunately shot down again, and we see his desperation on full display. He begs them to let him build around the flowers, but these dudes like Bill aren't having it. Fuck that dude Bill. Bet it is personal. Feeling real bad for Nate. He's trying to do a good thing, but they won't let him. I think most of these extreme emotions are coming from his desperation since Naz is gonna kill him. But as I was hearing his plea, saying he was just trying to do a good thing, I was starting to wonder if him putting all this effort into building this retirement community is an act of redemption for him. Or that's what he convinced himself in his mind. I'm not a deep dive character study type of guy, but it did have me thinking about how Nate was kind of an evil dude the last 2 seasons, and the Nate we've been following this season is clearly a lot different. Like he's trying to give back to the world for what he presumes as evil deeds. That's why he's trying his best to make his fortune the honest way, even though he's being shot down at every turn. Just a thought, we'll see where this goes. And again, fuck that dude Bill.
I'm trying to do a good thing. This is a good thing, Belle. This is a good thing. This is good.
Okay, that's enough.
This is good for the world.
So Rue has been captured by law enforcement, and these 2 DEA guys bring her in for questioning. They ask her about Lori, and she does a killer Lori impression. These dudes are low-key assholes, but it's a cool scene with cool dialogue. The cops are both scummy assholes trying to manipulate this poor innocent drug smuggler into doing their bidding. They can lie to her, but it's 5 years in federal prison if she lies to them. Fucked up.
I lie.
So you guys can lie to me, but I can't lie to you.
Correct.
That seems fucked up.
The cops back her into a corner and says she can either become a snitch for them or go to jail for 20 years or the rest of her life. I said 5 years at first, but they said they'd add 20 on for everyone who died from a fentanyl overdose. Feeling super bad for Rue. Definitely an unfortunate situation she's found herself in. She can either snitch and risk being killed by Alamo and the boys, or she can refuse and get locked up for the rest of her life. So reasonably, she chooses to be a snitch for them, and they bug her phone and swap out the drugs she had for sugar pills and laxatives. Sounds like a party. The K9 unit will always get it. Never underestimate the K9. Also, the moon in Mexico ain't the same thing. You can totally accidentally wind up in Mexico after a crazy drug binge, but you ain't gonna end up on the moon. This isn't COD Zombies. I don't think they have a teleporter or anything. And I just want to add a little bit of a rant here. Not really a rant, but I feel bad for Rue because she is clearly in a very desperate situation, being tied between these 2 drug gangs. She wasn't a drug mule because she had a choice. She would have got her organs harvested or been sex trafficked if she didn't smuggle the drugs for Lori. I don't know if y'all remember that season 2 episode, but clearly Lori's into some dark shit. And working for Alamo was the only way to safely get away from Lori. Maybe not that safe, but better situation. I'm not condoning a life of crime, but she didn't really have a choice. Just because she did drugs in high school doesn't mean she chose this life. She made a mistake. In my ideal world, law enforcement would understand her story and give her some sort of protection. Not be like, spy on these dangerous people for us, or spend the rest of your life in prison. The dude Alamo is gonna frickin' kill her if he finds out she's snitching. They don't care. They basically tell her it's her problem. Just give our girl a break, that's all. So after this exchange, she heads back to the strip club with her sugar pills and her laxatives, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And this is when we're reintroduced to Kitty from the title. Nice ass, by the way. The scene where Rue walks in to see Alamo, and both her and Kitty have no idea who he's talking to, is pretty funny. He's an evil bastard, but bro cracks me up. Our very own king of pussy.
And Kitty likes to dance.
And oh my god, he said the title of the episode. It looks like he takes Kitty into one of the back rooms to test his product. Kinda wild and unethical, but I don't think those fuckers care about ethics. The scene where she spreads her legs is very aesthetically pleasing. Just wanted to add that in. Later on in the episode, Rue's playing poker with the Alamo gang while the cops are listening in. Bishop expresses some sadness over killing Paladin. He was a beautiful bird. Maybe there's more layers to this guy, who knows. Rue brings up the prospect of getting more drugs to Alamo. Obviously, she's doing this because the cops are forcing her, and they just want to make an arrest. And this totally makes Alamo suspicious. We're here thinking Rue's about to get booked. Man like Bishop's over here just wanting to get back to the game. It's a super intense scene. We think he's going to say, I know you're snitching for the cops. But instead, he accuses her of doing hard drugs again. So obviously she goes with that. 'Twas a close call. The way the music built up was pretty crazy, and then it just stops after he says, you've been using again. I think it was a very well directed scene. I'm not gonna break it down like I'm a film critic, but I thought it was cool. Definitely gave me the goosebumps. We thought he was scary, but he's actually a real nice dude who's super concerned for his employees. Let's talk about Jules real quick, because there wasn't really much Jules in this episode, but I definitely want to address her scene. So Lexi gives Jules an opportunity to make some art for her show, and the art Jules makes is pretty wild to say the least. I do want to say I thought it was a really cool piece of art. I'd probably hang it up in my house. So what if I'm a freak? But yeah, obviously this wouldn't go over well for a PG show. Girls with cocks isn't exactly what they're trying to promote. Futanari must not be big in Hollywood yet. I think this is definitely on Lexi for not giving Jules more guidelines. Like she said, yeah, it's supposed to be a Pikmin, but she literally said, do whatever you feel. Gotta think about these things, Lexi. What the hell? It's PG. No nudity. There's still guidelines. When they tell Jules to change it, and she basically just draws a giant penis, that was hilarious. You go, girl. Not too much from Jules this episode, but I do like what we got. And I'll mention Lexi too, because Lexi's been a bit more of a background character so far this season. But she's still got some cool stuff going on. And I like that she's always been the moral center of the show. Good role for her. We got all these crazy kids, doing drugs, selling OnlyFans, doing whatever Nate does. So yeah, we need somebody who's a moral standard, And I wonder if the show that she's involved in is going to have any more kind of relevance. Are we going to see Dylan O'Brien again? It is very background plot, but lots of shit's going on in the City of Angels. Alright, let's talk about Cassie. She's not having any of Nate's new positive outlook, and she heads off with Maddie to go make some money. She starts by pawning her wedding ring. Y'all got married a week ago, that's wild. I'm starting to feel like this marriage isn't gonna last this season. Maddie starts working on rebranding her, and Cassie moves in next to Lexi in the same apartment complex. I don't think Lexi is all that thrilled about having her sister as her neighbor. Has to see all the freaky stuff she gets up to. I especially like the scene where they're at Lexi's house. Maddie and Cassie are making her OnlyFans content. They got that girl there with the leaf blower. And Rue pulls up and asks Maddie if she can hook her up with some drugs. Not for her, for her boss. They're all wrapped up in their more risque endeavors. And Lexi is just seeing this all unfold and is like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Bad Baby?
I appreciate her going the honest career route, but let the rest of them cook. Glad to see all the girls together. Glad everyone's friends again. It's a perfect world. This was a pretty fun interaction, by the way. I hope we get some more scenes like this going forward. Feels like high school again. The main event for Cassie this episode is when Maddie takes her to the party. She tells her to put on her best outfit, and she comes out in this super tacky leopard print outfit. I'm not even going to call it a dress. It looks like a Halloween costume. But hey, that must be what these guys are into.
Look good, bitch.
She brings her to big man Brandon Fontaine's mansion, where they're having a crazy rager, and the goal, looks sexy for exposure. Maddie definitely has a good understanding of the game as she gives Cassie her pep talk. Remember, ladies, don't give pussy to dudes like Brandon. Bad egg, that one. Cassie starts getting freaky with another blonde girl that might be Caitlin from episode 2, but I'm honestly not entirely sure. Could be her, maybe not. This party scene is also intercut with Kitty getting a train ran on her by 4 dudes at the strip club. Lots of freaky stuff going on. Kind of weird and gay these 4 dudes are all in the same room with their dicks out. When this one guy pulls out, all his homies are gonna see his dick. The one guy even slaps him on his bare naked ass. Kind of gay, to be honest. I know gangbangs are a thing, but you really gotta think about the chicks to dicks ratio. I digress. But back to Cassie. Brandon takes her and maybe Caitlin upstairs to do some 3 lines like Adidas. Cassie's clearly better at ripping lines because the other girl starts throwing up. I wonder where Cassie learned these talents. I didn't take her for a coke girl, but you never know. She even rubs the Adidas all over her coochie. Wildin'. I'm also confused about the whole game plan Maddie and Cassie had, because it didn't seem like they talked before Cassie went into the room. And why did Cassie not answer when Maddie was banging on the door? It seems like it was all part of a game plan though, because right before big man Brandon tries to fuck Cassie, Maddie gets some dudes, including Zorro from One Piece, to break the door down. And so they break the door, or wait, they don't even break the door down. They unlock the door. And then they get the perfect shot of Cassie, and she drops her handle like, hey, it's just Cassie. Great success. I'm hoping that works to grow her career. See, it seems like they had something planned, but where was the setup for this? Guess it just worked out perfectly. I wonder if Nate will be pissed when he sees the video. I mean, probably. But I think bro has bigger fish to fry. Alright, so starting to wrap up, this is the crazy conclusion of the episode. Just a casual night at the Silver Slipper. Rue asks Kitty if she's okay after she got a train ran on her. And I guess that girl with the neck brace takes it as she's a snitch and then goes to report her to the boss man. Not Alamo, just that other guy with the glasses who owns the club. So yeah, she gives her whole spiel to that guy. He's all suspicious, kind of accusing Rue. And I mean, I don't necessarily think she was in the wrong. I don't really know why neck brace is like, yeah, this is a reason to get her in trouble. But yeah, Rue handles the thing pretty well. Calls her a hood rat and a drug addict. So like, why should you believe her over me? I'm just doing my job. But yeah, as this is happening, boom, some rednecks pop in. They hold Rue and Neckbrace and Boss Man at gunpoint and demand they open the safe. Rue should know it's Wayne and his hillbilly daddy because of those fucking hillbilly voices, but she was probably too busy being held at gunpoint to pay attention to that. They shoot the Boss Man and threaten to blow off his donkey dick. And yeah, castration is scary, but to be honest, if they quote unquote blew off his donkey dick, bro would just bleed out and die. Or just, I don't know, die from the shock of getting your fucking penis blown off with a shotgun at point blank range. So it's more like a death threat than a castration threat. Realistically, I think castration would just cause it to bleed out and die. So all those like dickless guys in Game of Thrones, not exactly realistic, especially for the time. Maybe it's possible now with fucking modern technology, but hey, don't test it on me. I'm off topic. The rednecks get into the safe and take all the drugs, including the sugar pills and laxatives. Oh no. So hopefully Rue is off the hook. They are able to trace it back to Laurie's crew because they see Faye and her huge lips on the security camera. Craziness. Hopefully Boss Man doesn't bleed out and die. And like, it doesn't really seem like Alamo's got too much assurance in this guy. I guess she was on the phone with Bishop, but he's just like, I don't care, rewind the footage. But yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna lead to some sort of retaliation. But I mean, what'd you expect? You killed her bird. So this was an absolutely insane episode. It was very eventful, so I have a feeling this will be one of the longer videos since there was a lot to talk about. I don't really have much in the way of predictions. I think I'm better off letting these geniuses cook. Based on the preview, it looks like Bishop is going to kill the bouncer guy from the strip club. I guess because he let those guys in, not doing his job. Cassie's still fucking around with that Brandon guy. Like, asked her if she wants to live at his house. She's still married. I don't know what you're doing, lady. And Mr. Muscleman's gonna come back and get Nate. Hopefully they don't cut his other toe off. He just got it reattached. Also, the plastic surgeon was there, and he's mad at Jules for having boys over. I mean, I'm assuming it was just Rue, but like, who knows? I don't know. He's a freak. I'm not really looking forward to seeing him again. I do think it's in the making for another crazy-ass episode. I can hardly contain my excitement. Give it to me now. I appreciate y'all for making it to the end of the video. I'm basically going to be riding the hype train until the end, so hopefully you'll come back next week. I'll link my playlist of Euphoria reviews because the algorithm doesn't want to promote me, and I mean, I think you'll have a fun time watching them. I'm doing you a favor. I also made a video about the Weeknd's movie, so I'll link that here too. Remember to take your sugar pills. Peace.